What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. I'm Brad.
And I'm Miguel, guys.
And tonight on the show, we are joined by our very first special guest, JayTee Kenrell, to talk life. We're going to talk some movies, and of course, we're going to talk about some Halloween kills and some horror stuff. Guys, this is episode 33 of Let's Talk Movies. What is up, guys? This is our 33rd episode. I can't believe we're already 3 into like this decade of our show. I don't know why, but I think of the show in like sets of 10. Like, we don't really do seasons, but I don't know why. I just think of them. I think of them in like sets of 10. Like, I feel like the first set of 10 was one thing, and then the second set of 10 was another thing, and then the next set was like, now we're in our third set. Like, I don't know. I think about it that way.
Okay, cool.
But how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm literally trying this new thing out. I don't know. I see it on TikTok a lot. It's like, I don't know, if you have a sweet tooth and you got and you're trying to be healthy a little bit, there's a thing called Quaker's rice cakes. I'm trying that shit out, and boy, is it delicious. I love it.
Interesting. Well, guys, we're going to get right to the point here because we have a special guest on, our very first special guest. You know him as #HeyJay on YouTube. He is a social media personality, and he just seems like a really friendly, personable guy. Please welcome JayTee to the show. Maybe.
I think it's working.
There
Okay.
we go.
Yeah,
There we
we
go.
are.
Now he's on.
Yeah,
JayTee,
Yeah.
man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
We are doing really well.
Doing pretty solid.
It is a really nice day. It actually just rained on us a little bit ago, but
I wish. I actually like the gloomy weather, man. My birthday's in October, so that fall aesthetic weather, that's up my alley.
well, we're in
Yeah.
Kentucky, so it's like it's just now starting to get to the point where we're starting to like teeter on fall. So
Oh no.
because I'm in Georgia, and literally
Oh, are
today
you?
it was like 102. So
See, we don't have that type of weather. We don't have that 102 weather, but we do have like that brisk like 92, but with like heat index of like 102. And
right,
the humidity is just rough. So
Dude,
I'm
yeah.
jealous.
the humidity has been wild here lately. Like, I'm originally from Florida, and
Gotcha.
I mean, we've been doing like it's been like Florida humidity in Kentucky, and I have no idea why. But it's just, I don't know. We're teeter-tottering on that. What part of
wish.
Georgia are you in?
Atlanta, like in Midtown Atlanta.
I was literally
Holy
just
cow.
I was in Atlanta
Yeah.
on Tuesday. My
See,
brother
you
and I.
should have said something. You should have said something.
I didn't even
Like,
realize. My brother and
you
my cousin
could've
and I.
covered-
We went to a concert in Atlanta on Tuesday.
Oh, who
so
you guys go see?
we
All
went
of
to we went and saw Green Day. I'm a big Green Day guy.
Green Day.
And I've wanted to see Green Day for years. So, and we actually had tickets before COVID happened, and
Okay.
then it got pushed now, and it was Green Day, Fall Out Boy, and Weezer, and it was
What was it?
really cool, man.
The Fox Theater. What was it? held at?
Truist Park.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, now I think about it, they did have a lot of stuff blocked off over there. So okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's like maybe like 15, 18 minutes away from where I live.
Man, that's
See?
awesome. Man, we were
See?
right there. I should have
See?
messaged you, man, if I would have known.
See, you should have messaged me, man. You should have messaged me.
See,
So,
you could have
yeah.
went to the concert too, but the only problem is that shit was like $200 a person. Brad told me that.
Listen,
It was
I
expensive.
wasn't about that.
It's all
It's
right.
okay, man. It's okay.
It's all right. It was worth it, especially after COVID and everything. No live music
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it was completely worth it. So let's do this. So we typically like to start off our show by chatting about like what we watched this week, and we
Okay.
will let you do the honors, my friend. Did you watch anything good recently?
What's the name of this movie I just watched? God, what was the name of this movie? It was actually really good, actually. God, I cannot think of the name of this movie. Don't Breathe 2. Like, I got a chance
yeah.
to see it a little bit before it came, because I think it comes out in like 2 weeks. It was
Yeah.
actually really good. I'm not gonna do any
Cool.
spoilers, and I also went to go see Escape Room 2 as well.
Cool. I haven't seen honestly, I haven't seen the first Don't Breathe, so I really don't know. I've seen a lot of people that are pretty like excited about it. I haven't gotten to watch them yet.
Now, I would say that's definitely one movie where if you've seen the trailer, you definitely seen the movie.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that really the case? Because I remember like I haven't seen like Don't Breathe. I haven't seen the 1st one, but I've heard like reviews and like I've watched little vids of it, and my God, this guy was like the serial killer. He was the guy doing the killing. Like he was the bad guy, wasn't he?
Yes. That's why like when I saw this one, I was just like,
now all of a sudden he's like the
yeah.
Now he's like John Wick or something like that.
Exactly. But yeah, it was actually pretty. It's still good though. It's still really good. Have you guys seen the escape rooms?
Well, I have not. Is that out yet?
2 is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the trailer. I wasn't familiar with that one either. I hadn't seen the first one.
Strangely, again, another good one. It's one of those movies that actually surprises you. So
it looked. I got like slight Saw vibes from Escape Room, like kind of a little bit. I know it's not the same. It's not as gory, I don't think.
It's one of those things of if your kid says, "Hey, I want to see Saw," okay, let's let you watch Escape Room.
Yeah.
It's one of those type movies.
It's entry level Saw, basically.
Exactly.
Nice. I would love to go see Escape Room. I'm not gonna lie, because I love like the premise of just the game itself. I don't know if you've done escape rooms, but here in Richmond we have this thing called Countdown, and it's like this massive like little escape room thing. It has multiple rooms, multiple mysteries. You got to find your way out, and I freaking love those. There's like at least like 12 games. I've done at least 10. There's 2 more left I need to do. I love that entire like theme, so I need to watch that movie.
My paranoia is not good enough for an escape room. No, my paranoia. Just the fact you locking me in here, like I don't know if Michael, Freddie, I don't know who's in here. No.
Exactly.
No.
Well, I had that same thought whenever they were first initially like telling me to go to one, because the first one we did was like kidnapping, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And then they said something. You start the game off handcuffed to a guardrail. I said, nope, fuck out of here.
That's a lot. It's a lot of red flags.
You're not doing that today. But
that's a lot of red flags.
That's a lot of red flags.
No, I'm fine. No.
I think the first one I ever did, I think I was with you, Miguel, or I don't know. I think I've only done like 2 of them. I think there's one in Lexington. They were both in Lexington, and I remember we got through almost the entire thing, and right at the end, I was like, "What the hell?" Like we spent like 20 minutes just wandering around this room. Like I was like, I said, I don't know where else to go. Like I guess I'm like not smart enough to like actually figure this out, but I have no idea. So
see, that was like the cheap version of what we did with a couple of my friends in Lexington, because Countdown is a lot different from where he went. Because honest to God, and that one we were actually handcuffed. Like we were actually handcuffed to a guardrail. Yeah. I was like, or to like the bedpost. The one I went to,
I can do that.
You were handcuffed, but it was just Velcro. So if you got really scared, you just rip that shit off. And I ripped that shit off immediately. So
I was about to say my shit was getting ripped.
I was like,
yeah.
All right, that mystery solved. What we got left? I don't like that shit. The guy at intercom was like, sir, you're not supposed to do that. I was like, I don't care.
Sir, I'm going to do whatever I need to do, sir. I'm sorry. No.
If you didn't want me to do that, then you shouldn't have put Velcro on the thing.
Right, exactly.
No. What about you guys? What you guys watch this week?
Honestly, I've been really busy this week. Like I said, I was out of town for a couple days, and then I'm a teacher, so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things with that too. My wife and I restarted Stranger Things.
I was an extra in like 4 episodes of that.
Were you really?
Yeah,
that was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because I saw on your Instagram that you were an extra or you've been in like 30 productions or something.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
And let me tell you this though. I've been in like 3 or 4 episodes of Stranger Things. Haven't seen not 1 episode. Can I tell you?
You are kidding me.
The show. Cannot
really
tell you anything about the show. I have tried so many times. I cannot make it past the 2nd episode. Like,
wow.
I don't know. I just cannot get into it. Like all of my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like obsessed. And when they saw me in the episode, because I actually forgot, because I do, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot.
Yeah.
So like my friends, they were just like, JT, why didn't, and they would send me like screenshots. I was like, oh, there I go. All right.
Do you know what episodes you were in?
the main episode that I know I had a lot of screen time. The only thing I can remember, I want to say, is maybe like the last season. I'm thinking.
Okay.
They were at a pool. The guy with the mustache and the long like mullet like hair, he was
Oh,
the
that kid.
lifeguard. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the mom was swimming or something like that, and she got out the water. She had like a red bathing suit, I think. That's the only thing I can remember. I would have to ask my friends that, but like they are the ones who know like episode, they know the lines, all this stuff. No,
Wow.
I tried.
It's funny because we were just talking about that. I said to my wife, because honestly, with COVID and with everything, it's been so long since the third season premiered. I was like, I forgot what happened. I was like, we need to
Right.
rewatch it before the fourth one because like I need to remember. And we were just saying, I was like, this show is so cool because like I've never met anybody that is just not into it, and here we are, and you were in it. That's
Hey,
awesome though, man.
yeah, but like honestly, it was a good experience, so very good experience. And then I found a $20 bill on the ground. So
Well,
that was
there
my
you go.
highlight of that.
Did you
Yeah.
did you get to meet like Billy Bobby Brown or David Harbour or anybody like that?
Are those like the kids?
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown plays the main girl. David Harbour plays the cop who's like her dad, but he's not really her dad.
I know for a fact. I don't recall seeing any of like them. I know the main kids when I know the like
Yeah.
the stars when I see them, but I
Mhm.
know for a fact I don't recall seeing any of them like on set. And then we did another one. We were over at Greenbrier Mall, and we had a mall scene. I remember the little chubby kid. What's his name? He was on the other Netflix little prank show or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's not
What's
Mike.
his name?
Miguel, which one is it? It's not Mike.
The chubby
Um,
kid. Are you talking about the one that like has like that bone defect or whatever? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I think so.
He had like the funny looking smile.
Yeah,
but he's
that
like,
kid.
That
So you met
kid,
him.
Yeah.
What is his
Yeah.
name?
So like, and honestly, very humble kid. Very humble kid.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. It'd be kind of messed up if these kids were like pretentious AF. I'd be like,
Yes.
I'd be like, humble yourself, children.
Yes,
Humble
yes.
yourself.
Dustin. That's the kid's name.
Yes.
Dustin.
I would have said you are a stranger thing. Sit down. But no. But yeah, it was a good experience. But like most of the scenes I've done is always been like just mainly extras and maybe like some adults from the show that's not as put on
Right.
Front Street as like the kids and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, but again, honestly, on a regular day, if one of them came up and said, hey, came to my job or something, I would not know.
Yeah.
Especially with the mask on and everything,
Right.
I would not know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys still like under mask mandates and all that?
This is Georgia. This is Atlanta. We have never. I have per se. I have, but yeah, Atlanta is out of. They are way out of pocket. Like
They are a little bit of a rebel. I can
to
imagine.
them, COVID happened for 2 weeks, and that's it. Like,
And that was it. It's done. It's been done for
man.
9 months.
I know, like man, look, they did not care whatsoever, and like I'm over here just like I need to get my vaccine over here, like on drugs. It's just like
I've seen someone here in Kentucky double mask, and then I shit you not, he literally did this at the bar because we were chilling at the bar, and I saw my man literally did 1, 2, 3 squirts of hand sanitizer, wrapped it up, and then did this to his mask. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
I said, "That's too much."
Yes, it is. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
I was. There were a few people at that concert with masks on. I didn't wear mine just because,
so. I guess
I'm vaccinated. I figured, like, I mean, it's. I figured it's
I was about to
okay.
say,
We were outside. You know what I mean? I did wear it when we went inside. The line to go get beer and stuff was about 9 yards long, so we.
Right.
I did wear it going inside, like to go pee and whatever, but. It was, it was okay. And we're in Kentucky. So like I said, we get that. We get the whole people are like, they're over COVID. They think it's not real, whatever. So,
yeah.
But, so let's talk about you a little bit.
All right.
We were looking at your Instagram and your YouTube channel and stuff. And you obviously have a love for like all things pop culture, movies, music.
Yes.
You kind of have it all. So like, where did it begin for you? Like where, did you just wake up one day and you were like, hey, I want to start this channel. I want to get this stuff out here. I want to talk about this. Or was it like more organic? Like, how did it happen?
Like I don't drag stuff. So I'm gonna just give you the quick rundown.
You're
So
good.
basically, I was like my mom is like Beyonce and Michael Jackson and them parents. Like she used to film me at the age of 5. Like I was
Yeah.
moonwalking when I was 5.
That's awesome,
So like,
man.
you know, like she started putting me in like commercials and like, you know, like little like photo shoots and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm actually from Mississippi actually. You
Hmm.
know, I moved to Georgia in 2014. So
Cool.
like, you know, like when I graduated school, you know, community college, all that. And then when I moved to Georgia, well, right before I moved to Georgia, I had some strange need to recreate Michael Jackson's Thriller video. Like I choreographed it, produced it,
That's
directed
awesome,
it,
man.
all that kind of stuff. So,
I
and
love
people
that.
kept asking like, yo, why are you doing this? I was just like, I don't know. I just feel like I need to be doing this. And like about a year went by, nothing happened. And literally on the anniversary of the day I put out the video, it was on like MTV and BET. And they were just saying, yeah, and I won a trip to Vegas.
Really?
Like, yes, I
Holy
won a trip to
crap,
Vegas.
man.
Yeah, and like the guy was just like super impressed. He was just like, "Yo, this is good," because like the video was like, if Thriller was shot, you know, in that current time, like that's
Right.
what it would look like.
Yeah.
I own the Converse and the skinny jeans, and you know, like
That is
kind of
dope, man.
amped up the look and stuff. And literally from that, I just moved to Georgia, and after a while, I was just like, "Yo, I want to be, you know, I want to do YouTube, but like." That's why I came up with the hashtag Hey Jay, because
Yeah.
the hashtag in our generation now is just like it means everything that's trending. Because when I started off my channel, like, you know, I was doing movie reviews, and then I switched over to trying doing vlogs, and then I was just putting up random stuff. And then when Bruno Mars, when they dropped the song Leave the Door Open, I literally was in my kitchen, and I was like, I'm about to watch it, but I was like, let me go ahead and just send my reaction, whatever.
Yeah.
And literally because I'm so used to getting like maybe 50 to 70 views in like a month, you know.
Yeah.
So I didn't think too much of it. Did the video, put it up, whatever. Went and took a shower. I woke up the next morning. I had like 25,000 views on that, and like all these people, my Instagram was going up and crazy. Like I was getting like my subscriber count was going up, and so I was just like, maybe reactions are my thing. I said maybe I just got lucky. More stuff started coming out. The more I started reacting, the bigger my fan base grew. Like I know Miranda Cosgrove from iCarly. She reached out to me on Instagram and just like, I just love your reaction to like the new revival and stuff.
Man,
so
that is amazing.
Yeah, so ever since then, and like I know I was about to have a panic attack because when I saw that reactions were my thing. When Halloween Kills, when that trailer, like once I saw how Leave the Door Open did, I was just like, when the trailer drops for Halloween Kills, I promise you, I am going to be ready. And it literally took like a day for it to upload. I don't know what was up with YouTube. So I was hyperventilating, upset, everything. But like, you know, thank God it uploaded and it's doing pretty well. So like now reactions are just my thing right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
YouTube.
And I ran across you guys and I was just like, I need to talk to them because I was listening to like the podcast on my way to work, and literally like I work at corporate T-Mobile, and when I tell you, I had it quiet in there for like the first hour because you got the video I was listening to was like maybe like 50 or 45, 50 minutes. I wasn't done listening to it, so that means that you guys got to hear the rest of it because I'm not gonna finish this. So you guys have to listen to it at work. So like I had you guys still playing at work on the speaker until I got done. So
wow,
that's awesome.
We appreciate that.
Thank
man.
you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, it's weird because like I don't know. I think in our day and age, especially, it's weird. You almost can't like classify doing a podcast or a YouTube show or having a YouTube channel. Like it doesn't like fit in a category. Like the term YouTuber to me is so weird. And like Miguel and I have talked about that. Like I don't think about us as YouTubers. Like that's
and that's a funny
strange concept to me.
When I think of YouTubers, I think of like, you know, back then, like, you know, Jake Paul, all of them,
David
like,
Dobrik, people like that.
Like, and honestly, man, I can't do that. I can't smile in front of a camera for 24 hours, rent this entire house, and do all these other shenanigans. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I was about to say, when I was in that era of trying to do vlogs, when I tell you it's like my friends, they tried to be entertaining, but like I can tell that they weren't. they were trying for me, but like, you know, they were used to just watching my videos, not them being on my videos like that. So it's like I watched my birthday vlog from last year, and I was just like, man. And then I tried to do the Vlogmas thing where you vlog every day the first 25 days of December.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, I don't even like Christmas like that. You know, like I'm the Grinch. Like, you know, I went out and bought a tree. I bought decorations, like trying to make cookies. No, only thing I can make is reservations. I can't even cook. So like that.
So most of your family or friends were probably like, my man, why are you getting so hyped about Christmas? You don't usually do this.
Yes. Like literally, like my text message tone every December is the Grinch when he's like talking about what his plans are for the day. He was just like 6 o'clock dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. Like
that's awesome.
That's me. That's me. Like, so me trying, and I was just like, you know, vlogs this is just not my thing. You know, like I love the fact that I can get on there, react to whatever, do a small review of it and go, you know,
exactly.
Like without my personal life being on display all the time and then me having to make up a life that I know I don't have, you know, or like exaggerating the life that I have just to give views, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think if you try to like fabricate that, it becomes like it's not real at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's draining to watch too, you know. So
absolutely. Yeah. Like half of the videos on our channel are snippets of like the episodes that we do that I'll just put out there. You know what I mean? So you know, it's just it's kind of a funny. We live in a strange social time. You know,
we really do, yeah. Because everyone wants to be popular. I guess that's one thing that I did appreciate about you guys. Because the first video I saw of you guys was the one that says, "The more he kills, the more he transcends." Mm-hmm. To me, it's like, I mean, I listen to you guys, Jimmy Champagne. Was the Fandom Empire, and it's 3C Films. That's Chris.
Yes.
Yes. Like all you guys, like I love you because like you guys literally you're just like me. You love movies, so to me, you can always hear that passion and that love for those things. Like I know it was one episode where you were talking about Halloween, but Miguel was just like, yeah, I'm just not that big of a fan of it or whatever. So to me, I appreciate that honesty opposed to Miguel trying to act like he's like this super fan, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not authentic. So like the fact that I got that from you guys, I was just like, I have to subscribe. Like I got the notification bell on everything. So
we really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
We've had that conversation with the two of us before. Like when this podcast like started, it was like in February when Brad kind of found out like Michael Myers, like the Halloween Kills was coming out, or the trailer was soon gonna drop. He was like, Miguel, we need to set this podcast up just for that trailer because when it drops, it's gonna be heat. And I told Brad straight up, I was like, listen, dog, I don't really fuck with Halloween Kills all that much, so I'm gonna try. You can let me watch all of these. I'll watch some of these movies. Hey, if you haven't checked out our commentary with Halloween, Rob Zombie's remakes, see my utter like ignorance of Halloween because I ripped that movie apart. It's my goodness.
Honestly, though, I do not like the Rob Zombie.
It's not good.
Oh my god!
It's funny because we've had some people that are like, Miguel doesn't know what the hell he's talking about with horror. Like, you know, like I love the horror community. I don't know, like people think the horror community is so like weird and out there and like evil or something, but like the horror community is like one of the coolest, like most genuine places ever. It really is. But you have them certain people like it was one of our I remember it was like the first video that blew up. Miguel, that Texas Chainsaw update about the new one.
Yeah.
I put this, it was just like a 10-minute snippet of an episode. I didn't expect anything from it. And it had like 1,000 views the next morning. And I texted him. I was like, what the hell is this?
Honestly, that's how it happens though. It's the videos that you least expect to just skyrocket though. It's the ones you least expect. I don't think the movie's going to come out though. Like, I like Texas Chainsaw, but like I just don't see it coming out because no promotion, just the one teaser poster is
I don't.
Oh wow, when was it slated to come out?
I don't know. I don't think there was they said 2021, but there was never like a release date, and there was never really we had the couple of updates on it, but like there really wasn't anything else after that.
Is that one and the prequel to the movie Orphan? Like those?
Yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do this Texas Chainsaw movie because I kind of feel like I don't know. The original, I really like the original, and I really the 2003 remake of it. I think that is one of the best remakes of all time of any genre. Like not even just horror. Like I think that is a fantastic movie remake. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand how they're going to continue the story because Leatherface would be like 75 in this. And I mean, I know Michael's 60. Like that's
I
you
was
know, like
about to
so be
say, I
it.
mean,
But like, I
you
don't
got
know.
a 60-year-old picking up firemen, I mean,
I don't know.
hey,
Oh, if you said pick up a fireman, yeah. That
yeah,
scene
I
alone.
mean, hey, like it is what it is. Like when he killed the old man in the trailer, I was like, Michael is killing his counterparts. Like that's crazy. Like, wow, okay, this is what this is. Like, but I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? Like,
Yeah.
I hope to see it though. I do like Texas Chainsaw though.
I do
I do.
too. It's probably it's in my top 4 or 5 of like the big franchises. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I saw on so we were taught like we talked earlier about you being in all those different productions. Like, how does how does that even begin? Like, how did you become a part of all of those different things? Like, you were in a couple of Tyler Perry movies too, right?
Yeah. And I
How,
did. I see. On Miguel's side, I see he has a Black Panther. I took it off. Like you pay attention to when we first came on. Like I had it on. I had like we were all extras in Black Panther. So like the
you were in
bracelet they
Black
wear.
Panther?
Yeah, like I
Holy
got the
Nice.
shit!
bracelet and everything. Like one of the bracelets that he wore, they gave all the extras on the SmackDown
Wow.
set. We all have replicas of the bracelet. I had it on early, but it kept like because it's like super heavy. So like it kept slamming. So I was just like, let me go. Well, you guys put me on like the weight. I said, let me take it off real quick. But yeah. But the first movie it was like you ever heard the movie Barbershop? It has like Ice Cube,
Yeah,
Cedric and
I
Tanner.
know about
So yeah,
Barbershop.
so
Never
they,
seen it.
yeah, so they had the third one with Nicki Minaj and everyone in there. So I did that one. I did one scene. I was like, yo, because I'm like 5'3", like I'm short. So like, and I'm 28, but at the time I was like maybe like 24, 23, whatever. But like they put me in like this thing with nothing but 15-year-olds. It was like a high school thing. So I was just like, all right.
You gotta act like you're like 15 or something.
Yes, like I had the backpack. So I kept telling the kids, like one girl, she was like, hey, what's your number? I said, listen, no,
We don't play that here. I'm sorry.
no.
Like I can't do that.
I would have done that Dave Chappelle thing, running through the club like skirt, just push them
Yes,
away.
yes. But so I did
Wow.
that. But then like maybe like a month, I was like, okay, that was a fun experience. But then like a month or two later, they called me back for the movie, and I was like, I wanted to reach you because keep in mind again, like I'm not used to this. Like I'm used to doing theater. Like I traveled doing High School Musical for like 2 years.
Wow,
like
man.
yeah. So like that is, I'm used to theater. So then they put me back in a scene, and so I was sitting there doing my homework and everything because I was I go to Georgia State, and like the guy, he was just like, yo, you're gonna be in Terry's chair, and I was like, who is Terry? And when I started thinking about it, because my mom and I, we saw these movies when I was a kid in theaters, and like kind of find out it was the rapper Eve, who was like a main character of like the original cast. I was just like, yo, and kind of find out it was in the same scene as Nicki Minaj, Common, like all these people. And I was just like, yo. So then after that, like I got cool one of the production assistants, and she was just like, yo, I'm doing a movie next week and you should come be on it. And I was like, what's that? Come to find out it was Neighbors 2. And I was in the scene with Zac Efron and Seth Rogen. And what's the girl named Chloe?
Chloe Grace Moretz, I think.
Yeah, she is so
man.
nice. Oh my god, like yeah, she's like the best. But
So you met both of them. You met Seth Rogen too, and all that. Where were they like?
Yeah, Seth Rogen's really nice. Zac Efron.
Oh god,
really?
A little bit, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of those. He was one of those childhood stars, like Disney childhood stars, like in the very beginning, like Demi Lovato like level. And you see what's going on with her, like you kind of expect that. From him a little bit, but I'm glad to know Seth Rogen's pretty chill the guy.
Yeah. So like I know like during that time, ironically, is when he got cast to do Lion King, and that was like 2 or 3 years like out. But like Seth Rogen, really cool, really funny. Literally, what you see on camera is pretty much him.
Like what you get in real life.
Yeah, like he literally came and sat like with the extras and was just like eating, talking trash. Like it was pretty like dope. Every time you saw Zac Efron, he was working out, just doing the absolute. I'm just like, man, no matter what you do, you are Troy Bolton.
Bolton.
You gotta you always get your head in the game to me.
So, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Did you always want to be an actor? Like, is that what you like aspire to do?
Yeah, like Originally, yes, but honestly, within these, I guess like COVID helped with that. And it's this show on HBO called Insecure. Like just looking at that and looking at how the lady who wrote and stars in that, I've been leaning more towards like being behind the camera. I think like I
That's
have a
cool.
lot of I have a lot of ideas. I wouldn't mind jumping in front of the camera here and there, but I have so many ideas. Like I know all my friends, they always say like I like going to the movies by myself, but my friends like tagging along because I can show them like, hey, watch out for this, watch out for this thing because the way they got this camera angled here, the way they
Yeah.
set it up here, you know, I notice like the small details, like
Right.
and I'm big on looking at the history of films and why they do certain things and all of
For
that.
sure.
So as of lately, I've been leaning more towards behind the camera opposed
That's
to
cool.
in front of the camera. So yeah.
And you
That's
go to
pretty
Georgia
neat,
State, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing there? What you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah. Well, actually I'm in school for computer science, but like also too, like my friend, she taught me about like this course. It's like for film and everything. So I'm, you know, like leaning towards that come like in like 2 or 3 weeks when school starts
Yeah.
back. So yeah, like I'm excited about it though. But I mean, right now I've been writing like different, like I'm writing like 2 different shows right now. Like I'm trying, like I know I got one show that's ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna try to you know like sell that pilot to like HBO and Netflix and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
God,
So
man.
so
You
yeah,
got it going
like,
on, dude. This is really cool. Like
I'm just trying. I'm really trying out here.
I'm really
it's
happy
hard,
that
but
we
I'm
got
trying.
you on. Yeah. So you've got like all the horror reactions. Are you like what other like genres are you into, or are you somebody that's kind of like, you know, a good story is a good story no matter what genre
Again, like you
it
know,
is?
I love a good storytelling, but I will say that my favorite, unfortunately, I know most girls will love this, is that I love like those coming of age films, dog. Like
Coming of
I
Hell yeah,
age.
love,
man.
yes, like Paper Towns, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, like you know, The
Yep.
Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, like
Yeah.
those things. Yeah, like I love those type of movies like the most.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love my wife is a huge John Hughes fan. Like she loves her
yes,
Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink. Like we went and saw I think it was like the 30th or 35th anniversary a while back.
mm-hmm.
For Pretty in Pink, we went and saw that in the theater, and
Okay,
it had like John Hughes, like commentary with John Hughes, and
mm-hmm.
it was really cool. And they're appealing. There's something about that 80s
Yes,
coming of age thing that's just
yes.
like something about like late 70s 80s and into like early 90s that's just it just appeals to people, you know what I
Yes.
mean, even if you weren't alive like in that era, you
Exactly.
know.
Yes. Like
It's
my
pretty
mom,
much.
like if I
Uh,
call my mom right now, her phone will always say Ferris Bueller. Like that's my nickname. Like that's what she
That's
calls me. It's
awesome.
like a nickname because like I did all the stunts that he used to do. Like I used to study this stuff like when I was, you know, when I was a teenager, like while everyone else was out doing stuff, like these were the things that had me interested, you know,
Yeah,
like the 80s and everything. So yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. um do you like what was the first horror film you remember watching, since you're a horror
Oh,
guy
this
too?
is so easy. Oh, this is easy. Like, don't judge my mom, okay? But
Oh,
my mom was a single parent. The first movie, and this fun fact, this is what movie actually made me want to be an actor. She took me to the theaters to see Scream. That was the first movie
oh
really?
I've
shit!
ever seen.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and yeah.
I'm not judging your mom at all, because my parents I'm very thankful for the fact that like my parents were pretty like open about like letting me watch stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
Mhm.
like if your kid's afraid of it, like, and you make them watch it, like that's screwed
That's
up.
That's borderline.
traumatizing.
Like that's a
Yeah,
little
Yeah.
screwed up. But like
yeah,
if
don't
they're
do that.
into it and they know it's fake and it's just like for fun, I mean, like that's cool. I went and saw
Yeah.
the first Halloween movie I ever saw was Rob Zombie's H1 in the movie theater with my dad, which at the time was the shit. It was awesome. But of course now, like
You know
going
what?
back
Actually,
and
now I think
becoming a
about it.
Halloween fan, it's like,
Now I think about it, mine too. The first time you seen Michael in theaters on screen was
yep,
Rob Zombie. It was August 17th, 2007 when it came
Yeah.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I have a good
remember-
memory with movie dates.
I think my first one was probably I don't think you know about it, Jeepers Creepers.
Mm.
Yes,
remember that one?
that
Yeah,
and
that's a
two.
good one, too.
Yes.
The second one was the first one I saw, and I
Yeah.
remember like that for forever. Every time we went on a field trip, or whatever, and we passed some cornfields, I immediately my eyes are up. My
Yeah.
eyes are up. I'm not checking anything around me.
So,
Yeah.
question about that though. Now that you bring that up, do you guys think that Jeepers Creepers is like a slept-on horror movie though? Like,
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah.
think so. It is.
yes,
Yeah, I
Because-
think
like,
it's got its own little cult following, but I think part of the problem probably is I
the
believe.
director.
Yeah, I don't know the full. I'm not sure the whole story, but I know something kind of screwed up happened. That's like not.
We'll talk about that outside of this video.
Yeah, yeah.
I know about it. Yeah,
I want to get my
yeah.
facts straight before I start talking about that.
Yeah. But I remember,
But you know,
like,
it's another one coming out though.
yeah,
Like,
I think it was supposed
yeah.
to be. I think it's like what 25 years, am I if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. They're trying to do some stuff like that.
I
Like
think
it comes out.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, like
Because it was at the end of Jeepers Creepers 2, and he was like, "This is like the 20-something anniversary," and he's literally got the harpoon sitting there with his dog, and he's ready for him to wake back up.
Yeah.
Like that shit right there was so like suspenseful. It was like, oh,
Yes.
now I want to see a third. I
Yeah,
want
I
to see
wanna
it
know.
happen.
But honestly though, everything is taking the Halloween approach. Like everything is going back to like the original and making direct sequels, ignoring everything
Yeah.
else. And
Yep.
that to me, that just doesn't work for everything.
It
You
doesn't.
know,
It works
yeah.
for given like the history with Halloween, it works. But like again, like we talked about the Texas Chainsaw sequel, like it just doesn't. That movie doesn't really even need sequels, anyways. You know what I mean? Which all the sequels were kind of a joke after that, anyways.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw 3D was all right. It was okay.
That's one with Trey Songz, right?
Yes.
I think they,
yeah.
I was about to say, I think they served that movie as a direct sequel to the original one. And again, like to me, actually, I thought the movie was trash. I've seen it like 3 times. I thought it was trash. But however, in the month of October, I watched at least 4 horror movies a week. Like I have a list on my phone of the ones I watched. So that was on my list. And I have it on Blu-ray. So I said, let me rewatch it just to see. And actually, it's a good quality film. I just feel that people like Trey Songz and the girl, the main character's best friend, they could have been recasted. You know,
it's a little the plot's a little cheesy. Like it's got a little bit of cheese in there, but it's done well. Like it's fun. And honestly, if you look at like the original sequels to Texas Chainsaw, it's better. It's way better than any of them are. Like
the carnival scene.
Yeah, like it had some really good moments in it. You know,
they could have done without the 3D effect though. Like
I could go on a whole spiel about this whole 3D stuff because most of the 3D movies, they really ain't 3D. It's just for like just get close to your face real quick. It doesn't really serve the story in my eyes.
That's
3D movies in horror.
Yeah, Rob Zombie, he had a contract for a Halloween 3, and that's what that one was going to be. It was going to be 3D.
Oh, boy.
If you...
oh, boy.
Have you ever read... I haven't read the script, but I actually... Mike and Jay, we watched a movie. Have you ever seen their channel?
Yeah.
They did a script recap for that, and they do script recaps all the time. And there was a script, like, that was supposed to be made, and then they sold the rights to Blumhouse so that they could do... the Halloween 2018 stuff, and that was supposed to be in 3D, and the plot was so friggin' stupid for that movie. Like at the end of it, I believe that they end up back at like Smith's Grove or something, and like Michael's on his rampage or whatever, and there's like pills flying at the screen and shit. I was like, why? Like that? Like why? Like that just doesn't make any sense at all. Like it doesn't creatively. I feel like that just cheapens what you're trying to do.
I would walk out the theater. Exactly. I would have took off the theater. I took off my glasses. Like, all right, guys, we gotta be real about this now.
Yes, like honestly, like let's be clear, man. Like that Michael Myers, he was too big.
Too big, yeah.
Dude was like 6'8" or 6'9" or something like that. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no way. Like, no. The girl who plays Lori, like, she would have died originally, like, in real life. Like, she would have died. Like, dude was huge. So
I think that was something Brad brought up too, because the whole point of Michael Myers is that like he's supposed to be a regular guy just on a killing spree. He's not supposed to look or feel
freak
like
of nature.
You're supposed to see this like average man be able to do all this crazy shit, and you're supposed to be like, what the hell is this guy? Like he's supposed to be a true act of nature. But whenever you have him as this big towering hunk of meat, it makes sense why he would be this strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh,
you know,
that, I didn't like that.
I didn't mind Rob Zombie's H1. Like I think it's like it's decent. Like I didn't really like the whole trailer trash backstory thing that they did.
I was about to say, to me, I wasn't a fan of the backstory of it.
Yeah.
Though. Like to me, knowing that Michael's just this psychopath is enough for me. But to me, even if you're gonna give him a backstory, don't give him the easy route. You know, like, and the fact of Rob Zombie hiring his wife.
For almost every single project he has,
he's gotta stop. He's gotta stop casting her in every role. Like she's okay. Like I'm not gonna lie, she's not a terrible actress.
She's really not. No,
it doesn't work for every single thing. Like she's gonna play Lily Munster now in his remake of the Munsters. Like I just like why? I mean, why? And you know it's funny because we talked about this. Actors. We talked about this in our commentary. Like H1 is fine. The first 20 minutes of H2.
Oh yeah, breaking out the van and
Well,
but to me, honestly, when his mom, which is Rob Zombie's wife, comes with the white horse, that's when you really like.
I saw that, and I was like, "Where are we going with this, Brad?"
Yeah, because honestly,
what did you slip in my drink?
Yeah, because the whole Lori's, going through the hospital and all that, that was good. It was good cinematography, everything, but the white horse.
Well, and I mean, I've said it, and I know a lot of diehard Halloween fans will probably disagree with me. That hospital scene, when it sets it up, it is literally the same night. It's an hour after he tackles her off of the roof and Brackett finds her in the street and whatever, and he's chasing her around the hospital. The mask where he was shot and half of it's bloody. Yeah. That is 20 minutes. It is 20 minutes of the best sequences in the franchise.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were in the movie theater. I was so hyped for that movie. I remember when the trailer dropped, I was like, this is going to be some epic stuff. This is going to be amazing. And the minute that Laurie wakes up and all of that was a dream, my dad was sitting next to me and he went, oh my God, in the movie theater out loud. I was like, what? And then the rest of the movie just completely tanks from there on out.
To me, it's a lot of stuff was just but you can tell that they did not, because obviously it's been revealed that they did not have a complete script,
right?
Because the movie was supposed to came out in October, but the people at Dimension Films, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
But showing that she worked at the record store, it was just a bunch of just, what are we talking about? And Michael
unnecessary exposition, pretty much.
Yes, it was just a bunch of just filling in time gaps, and it just was not it. It was not the right. No.
And which is also one of the reasons why I'm excited for Halloween Kills, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, because it's literally doing away with any type of exposition or any type of filler dialogue. We're just going straight into the fucking war.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And I'm all for that.
Halloween Ends got me nervous now, because thanks to you guys, and I heard the fact that it's going to be a 2 to 3 year time jump. We
literally were pissed whenever we heard that. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. I forget, it was one of you who said it. You were just it's kind of, I'm leaning towards it was Miguel who said it, because you were just Michael, he escaped, one time, then he escaped in 2018. It's just now we're doing this time jump. 9 times out of 10, he's going to have to escape this again to have Halloween Ends. And it's kind of just no, put all this in the same night.
Yeah.
Let him and Laurie battle this thing out.
Right. Because
clearly the only way that one will die is if the other one dies. Let it be. Just let it be. Just let it be. But the time jump, and I don't want to hear nothing about COVID in this movie. Michael's already wearing a mask. I don't need to see Laurie in one. I don't need to see Karen in one. I don't want to see Tommy Doyle, none of them. In a mask, no.
For sure.
So yeah.
Well, since we're here, let's talk about Halloween Kills. So if you had to sum up your hopes and dreams for Halloween Kills, in one sentence, what would it be?
Okay. So the fact I'm looking at Halloween Kills as the Infinity War of the Halloween universe.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
There it is.
All these people in, from the original to battle this evil thing. Honestly, like from the trailer, it's going in the direction that I hope when they first announced it, But however, to me, I think the only way to bring Lori back, because again, she's not going to be a main character in this,
right?
Like she's going to pretty much be fighting for her life in the hospital, basically. Yeah. So like, I want Allison to be badass in this, Honestly, I actually don't want her boyfriend, what's his name, Cameron. I actually don't want him to die in this one. I actually don't, because to me, I feel like just those two help, working it out with Lonnie and all these characters. Take out some of them, but the thing I feel that should bring Lori back into the fold, not necessarily that Michael is out and on the loose, but I feel like Karen should die. And like, for some odd reason, I want it to be personal. Like, I know I've seen a scene, wasn't it a scene in like the original where Michael actually picks up the phone or whatever?
Yep.
Like, I would love to see a scene, like I would love to see Halloween Kills end on the note of like, they thought they killed Michael or whatever, or something like that. And Karen calls Lori, and in that exact moment, Michael kills her, and he picks up the phone, and Lori hears him breathing on the phone.
Yeah.
So she already knows.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, to me, that would be epic, because it's just like now Lori has another reason to be even more pissed off. And right. Allison, like, come on, at this point, you lost your dad and your mom, and you're possibly gonna lose your grandmother. Come on, man. Yeah. Like that's like the ultimate battle. Yeah.
Did you check out the leak script at all, or any of the leaks and stuff?
I do not do the leaks, and the fact that the album cover, his face looked like a Minecraft box album cover, like yeah. To me, I feel. Go ahead.
Did you see what I mean with that?
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only person that noticed that. Like, I have my 2018 mask here. Like, it's maybe 3 inches the ear from the eye hole.
Yeah,
that hit. It looked like his ear was like back here. I was like,
yes,
like you took it and stretched his mask. I was like, what is that? So, I don't know.
But no, like, I don't get into the leaks because, like, do you hear that violin playing like in the trailer? Like, I have the 2018 one on the vinyl over here for my record player.
Nice.
So
that's
like,
dope.
yeah. So like, to me, I know I'm gonna buy this one. Like again, my birthday's in October. My birthday comes out during the same week of the movie. So like, it's all part of like the plans. And I think my friends and I, we're gonna actually get a chance to see it like not on that Thursday night for the pre-showing, but I know the guy at the movie theater, so he's gonna let me and my friends run out of theater. We're gonna see it like that Tuesday or that Wednesday night.
Oh, that's nice, sweet connection right there, boy.
Yeah,
so I like that.
So yeah, so like all my friends, they're buying like Halloween T-shirts and stuff like that. So like, we're sitting here just like, they're just like, JayTee, look, they leaked the soundtrack. I'm like, I don't need to hear anything, because people understand, like, it's not like a soundtrack for like, a regular movie with like different artists and stuff. Like, these scores are for like certain specific scenes,
right.
So like, if you hear the score, you're just like, oh, when I hear this, yeah, I already know this is about to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and the title of these like songs in itself pretty much spoils
like
certain
the shape hunts Allison. Like, come on, like,
well,
I just
I think they learned a little bit, because the track list at least doesn't spoil anything major for this one. I remember when the Halloween 2018 soundtrack came out, I was listening to it, like driving to work, driving, different places, and I remember I got to the shape burns and I was like, the hell? I was like, this was like, and this was like, I don't know what they released it like 2 or 3 weeks before the movie comes out. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, I don't know. We talk about this all the time. Like, we don't have sources. We don't have people like feeding us like inside info or anything. Like, like I know Jimmy does, the guys at Phantom Empire do, and they swear that's real, the leaked soundtrack. But like the little snippets I've heard, it just doesn't.
It sounds like fan made.
It doesn't sound right.
It sounds like you broke the trailer down without the dialogue and just like try to filter it over and mixed in like some Halloween 2018 stuff.
I have a hard time believing that John Carpenter wouldn't take, obviously the Halloween theme is going to be in it, but that's a given. But like the shape stalks or the shape hunts Allison or Lori's theme, or just like any of like the thematic things.
Yeah.
I'm a music guy, so that's why I'm like
Yeah.
whatever. But it's just like I don't know. It just doesn't. I have a hard time believing that John Carpenter wouldn't use all of those same melodies and stuff in the new
Right.
score. And there was
Right.
none of that in there, and it sounds I don't know. It just strikes me as strange. So,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
But I don't.
Maybe if it turns out to be legit, then maybe I'll like it more when you see it in context. But who knows?
Yeah. I mean, but like then again, too, I think that because I saw this on Twitter earlier today. You know, originally they sent the movie off like last July once, you know, when it got delayed. So like they sent it off to be remastered, and like they said a lot of the score and a lot of things changed because they wanted to make it, you know, big for IMAX or whatever, because that was going to be the treat to the fans. So a few of the things, it may be real, but it may have been just a part of like that original film.
Yeah.
And they changed a few things for the IMAX thing. So like, you know, like I didn't go and listen to it. Like I know I was curious for one, but then I cut it off because like, again, like I have waited for this movie just as long as Lori waited for Michael. So like I am hyped about this movie. So when the trailer leaked, when I tell you every page that was sharing the leaked trailer, I was reporting. Like
you were reporting.
I was on it, boy. I was on it. Like
respect.
Well,
yes,
you know,
because like don't do that to people, man. This is hard work, and this is still a job, you know.
Right.
So yeah, why do that?
I've actually come across the leak script 2 or 3 times now, and I've scrolled right past it because I don't, you know, like little surface level things like the flashbacks. Like I'm okay knowing that there's going to be flashbacks. Like I don't want to say something and spoil it for you.
No. Did you see like the actual YouTube clip of them filming the?
Yeah. Of like he like walks in between 2 houses and like looks around or something. Like it'd be like right after Loomis shoots him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I looked out my window and saw that, like,
right.
Yeah, I'm not with that.
Yeah.
If Michael Myers in Atlanta, 100% would not survive the night. I'm almost certain. No way in hell.
I tell you, these people are savages out here, dog. No,
you will know exactly how free America is.
I'm trying.
Michael Myers came through.
Yes. Did you guys go see? Did you guys watch the interview with with Jamie Lee Curtis? Like when she was like basically because they're starting promoting and everything.
Is it a new interview?
Like, it came out like maybe like a week or 2 ago now. Like I saw like she talked like super brief about it. And
I don't know if I've seen that.
But now I will say though, she basically was reiterating everything she said in the Total Film magazine review though. So it wasn't really too much anything like new. But however though, I will say this, like I do love the fact that she's badass to the point where when they had to go ahead and when they were forced to drop the trailer, she was just like, yeah, here's the trailer because some asshole leaked it and everything, you know, like she did not care. Like I love that about her. So yeah, I know actually, I was actually trying to get her today, but whenever she finds time, I will let you guys know so you guys can get that too. She's not going to be a major character, but you guys know the sexy nurse in the film, like she battles Michael Hurt. Yeah, so she agreed to do an interview with me, but I am willing to share that with you guys, so you guys can have the exclusive too. Because she was in 2018, and then like she's in Kills as well too, and like you know I watched one interview already, so I DM'd her on Instagram and stuff, and she was saying like she'll tell me like how David Gordon Green approached her and everything like that. So like I'm willing to share that with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Reactions, man. So yeah, like. But yeah, she's really sweet though, really sweet. I think her name is Vanessa.
Awesome. We really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Is she? Let me ask you something. And if you can't say this because she's told you, or
she is not Julian's parents.
She's not his mom.
No.
Well, I don't know what
I don't know.
I've seen everybody.
Even she said like everyone was just like they don't know where that even came from because even if you look at like Julian's home like house setup, it was not in that same, you know what I'm saying, like town, like as 2018. So I guess
that's true because they were in a different. I don't know why that street looks so lit. When he first showed up, I was like, nobody. Halloween doesn't look like that anymore. They have curfews at like
No,
9 o'clock. Like
that's what I'm
kids are
saying.
inside by 8:30.
And first of all, like if your costume is so legit like that, I, I'm side eyeing. You know,
I'm side eyeing. Yeah,
I'm side eyeing. Like the way
But-
she was looking at him when she got in the car, I would have said, "Babe, drive. We ain't coming back.
Yeah.
We can go out of town."
She did
But
kind of give him the
apparently-
look like, because I mean,
Yes.
he walks out of the house and he's holding an actual knife. Like you can tell it's not fake. And there's kids
Right.
bumping into him and stuff, and he's just kind of like overwhelmed. I think that's
Yes.
one of the best sequences of the franchise, man. It's so good.
I'm pretty sure you know this. Did you know originally, like in the first or second take, he actually did kill the baby that was crying?
shit.
Really?
But David
Wow.
Gordon Green was, I can't remember if it was David Gordon Green or Jason Blum. One of them said that they're a dad and they could not envision,
Yeah.
you know, a
Yeah.
monster killing a kid like that. And
Yeah.
did you also know that the baby crying is actually Jamie Lee Curtis doing the voiceover
I did.
for the?
I did
That's
know that.
crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I just found
Well-
it out not too long ago.
It's funny because that scene, like, that's one take.
Yes,
That's
yes.
one
And-
long tracking shot through every house where he
Yes.
hits the old lady off camera with the hammer. And the baby was the only real point in 18, and I love the 2018 movie.
Mhm.
But the baby was the only point where I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
He's
You
about
know
to
what I
do
mean?
it.
Like the only
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
suspenseful moment. I do hope Halloween Kills is a little bit more suspenseful than
Now, what
18.
I hear though, I don't know how true it is. I did hear that Julian may get it. The little kid, I did hear he may get it.
It wouldn't
you
surprise
know,
me. I think
Hey,
this
Michael
is
Myers has no morals. Let's just say that. He has no
He
morals
is
if he
pissed.
doesn't walk.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
when I tell you, I've never seen anyone more pissed, and I've seen a hell of a lot of movies than Michael. He was in that basement, and when Lori threw the little fire sticks down there, he was pissed. Okay, so like,
Well, you see how he walks out of that firing building and he's just like holding that little axe. Like, this
if
man
you
is
watch
meaning
my
business.
if you watch my reaction, I literally was just like, why is he walking out like that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
boy, like, no.
let me ask you this. Do you think, so if obviously in the original film, like it was John Carpenter's intention that like the only reason he was after Lori was because he saw her first. Like there's no rhyme or reason to like her, to why it's her. And I think
Right.
when he escapes 40 years later at the beginning of the 2018 movie, do you think he was intentionally
He did not
going
remember
after
that girl.
Lori? I don't think so
No,
either.
no.
I'm kind of with the party
No.
where there's a moment. There's a moment at the end of the 2018 film where it's kind of like the whole like face your fate. Going back to what the teacher was talking
Mhm.
about in the original movie, Laurie's teacher,
Mhm.
talking about like fate and you can't run for your fate. You have to like face it and whatever. And there's a moment when Laurie's like doing the traps in the house and she's got the shotgun and whatever. When he comes
Mhm.
out and they're both holding onto the shotgun and they actually come face to face. He does the head tilt thing, and I
Mhm.
guess in my own mind that was the point where he was like, I know you, like I remember you.
Yeah.
You're that one that got away. And I think in for the majority of the 2018 film, she wasn't his motive. It was just happenstance that they ran into each other. I think
Yeah.
now, when he was
He has a
staring up at
motive.
the three of them,
all out for blood.
and
for
he
sure.
was like, "Oh my, like you got away from me again. Like I'm done.
Yeah.
Like this is."
Yes.
I think now he's pissed, and I think
Yeah.
the fact that he's so. It's usually like there's no rhyme or reason. Like that whole when he kills the old lady, when he kills the lady, when he stabs at the windowsill one.
It's
where
just now that and he bust her. Listen, Michael, like this was definitely a rampage. Like he literally
Yeah.
was just walking and my thing is, why was no one's door locked? There is no suburban. It's nowhere I can live that I feel that secure. You
Yeah.
know, like everyone's door was unlocked. You know,
even during
so-
Halloween. Like, I feel like Halloween,
Halloween.
my door would definitely be locked. I'd be like, bitch, you are ringing my doorbell or knocking my door. Like,
Yes,
I'm not
like-
keeping this unlocked at all.
Yes, and I live on the second floor. Even my patio door is still locked because you just never know.
Yep.
You
Exactly.
just never know. You
Especially-
just never know.
especially if you lived in a town where some terrible, horrible crime happened 40 years ago on that night. Like, why?
Yes.
Like, lock your door, man.
Yeah, like he's a
Yes.
legend. He's a legend in that town. He
Literally,
has to.
literally. But back to like with Lori, I feel like I mean, Halloween 2018 is a masterpiece in my personal opinion.
It's a good
But
one.
I think I would have loved it to have had a psychological twist to it. Remember the scene where she was in the car watching the bus leave and she got drunk? I would have loved, for some kind of way, it had been Lori's fault that the bus crashed.
Yeah,
Because
I think there's
that would have been her way of confronting him.
there's a small chance, I feel like, that we might see that. I don't know that we will, but I feel like that they could leave that open to where it was like she's the one who made the bus crash. Or if they didn't want to do that, I guess you could say Sartain did.
Right.
But I didn't like that either. That was the one thing. Honestly, there were two things about the 2018 movie that got me. Sartain's weird twist when he puts on the mask and he's all like, woo! Like, and weird.
That was very timed. We was filling in time. We were filling in time.
You know, every single diehard Halloween fan went, no. It's like, they're not about to change killers. Like, please, no. Please, no.
Yes.
I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case either. That would have been really strange.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think that for me, with that, I don't know, like, have you guys seen like the deleted scenes and everything for 2018?
I have not.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's one scene that I honestly wish they actually could have kept it in, but looking at it from a person who wants to start, like writing these visions, it's a scene where Lori, like, after she does like, her target practice and everything, she goes in the house, unloads her gun and everything, and she literally contemplates suicide. And like when she contemplates suicide, Michael is like standing like there in her cabinet or whatever. But I think that the only reason they did not incorporate that scene into this movie was because it would have revealed the mask before he got back to the mask. So but I feel like that scene was like super important. It was super important. Yeah.
And I think the other thing I'm really excited for with Kills is, I think with all of them in the franchise, like, and I know it was a different time, 80s and 90s, like with H6, like the whole cult thing, and like I know like they went in weird directions, but the fact that the 2018 movie was about trauma, and it was about like Laurie's trauma and how that went into Karen because of like CPS coming and taking her, and Allison even like generational trauma. And like David Gordon Green has said that H Kills is more about fear and like how fear like spreads amongst people. I'm really, really excited to see that, because like you said earlier, the focus of Kills is not going to be on Lori. Like she's like, Lori's hurt. I mean, like and honestly that might be some of their vision for why they're wanting to push ends a few years in the future, because like Lori's kind of down for the count right now. Like she already had her big battle with him, so like it's kind of up to everybody else to try to like figure out like, well, A, what's going on, and B, like, are we really about to take the law like into our own hands and deal with it?
Right.
So
I don't know. Like, I guess my only thing with ends is, where does Michael and Lori fit into this? Because clearly we're gonna round back to Michael and Lori. So like for me, who is going to look for who? And what's the reason? I mean, obviously we know the reason, but like to me, if you're safe and he's locked away, why are we back here?
For sure.
Because like if Lori goes to the what's the asylum that he's in?
Smith's Grove.
Smith's Grove. Like to me, that's just like you're poking the bear. You know what I'm saying? You're provoking this now or whatever. It's not like he's breaking out and coming to you and disrupting you again, because technically he wasn't even coming out to seek you in 2018. Actually, the doctor brought him there, So like to me, I the fact that the time jump has me worried with that, because I know at one point in time it was a script written for one of the movies where Michael was on what is it, like basically death row or whatever.
I had that.
Court and all of that. I don't want to see that. Like I don't want to. the only thing I want to see Michael do that's out of his norm, I just want to see him run one good time. I just want to see him. I just want to see him run.
I want to see funny.
Yes. Like the only thing another thing I want to see is like I wish that they re-released Halloween 2018, or when Halloween ends, like when this whole trilogy is done, this whole timeline is done, release like a box set, and I want to see the alternate ending, well, the original ending of 2018. I know it got 4 reviews and all that, but something about Laurie and Michael, that both knives up at one time and they were just gunning. I just want to see it. I heard it was bad, but like, you know, that's coming from people who probably weren't.
Well, I think part of the problem with it is in the original ending, it's Karen, because Karen comes out with a crossbow. Like Laurie and Michael are fighting, they're stabbing each other, they're doing whatever, and Karen shoots Michael with a crossbow, and I think the two of them just kind of go off in the woods separately, and like they both die, and that was the end of it. And I think people were kind of like, "What?"
Never mind. Disregard everything I just said.
I don't know for sure, but I believe that's how the original ending was. So I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. Real quick, did you have like a favorite, like not even just of this trilogy and this new sequels, because like of course these bypass all of the original sequels. Do you have like a favorite of the original sequels of the Halloween franchise?
You are gonna be pissed at me when I say this.
I'm probably gonna love it. I probably got an idea.
Resurrection.
What scene?
This has been fun, but bye.
I don't know. It's between the scene of him killing the chef and the head coming down the stairs, and like, no, it was a scene where like they was talking and he was like right there in the midst, like between like Busta Rhymes and the girl. Michael was like right that. Dude, come on! Like
that's really how Halloween Kills is going to end. Busta Rhymes is going to kick in the doors of the hospital.
Please, I would at least love to see a Busta Rhymes cameo in Halloween Kills.
Yeah,
please let me see that.
I'm kicking you both out.
Like I know you.
Come on! It was like one of those like resurrections during the time where it was like, you have to put like some famous like
it's
rapper
so
or
meta.
singer into like a horror movie just to make it like, you know, a little spicier. Busta Rhymes did his job. Like,
yeah, he did that. You know,
he knew the assignment.
Crispy there, Mike. Looking crispy, Mike. Like, yeah, boy. Like, listen, I that and H2O. Like, yeah. Like,
I do like H2O.
Yeah,
I do like H2O. H2 is the original H2 from 81 is probably my favorite. I like that because you can watch it like there's actually somebody did a deep cut on YouTube. It's like 3 hours long where they took H1 and H2 and like spliced them together. I mean, it literally feels like the same. It feels like the same movie. You know what I mean? Like you could just watch it all straight through. And I really like that too. And I like them all. I kid about Resurrection, but Resurrection's fun. It's just, it is what it is, you know?
He hates it, man.
He hates it. He hates it. They have a backpack of Resurrection and Spencer now. So,
I love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ship it to you so you can represent. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, real quick. Here's the bracelet from the Black Panther.
Oh my God, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah, like all this. Yeah.
That shit looks heavy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
just listen to it. Yeah.
Is it
like
metal?
Legit, like, yeah, it's like titanium or something.
Wow. No, it's vibranium.
Vibranium, yeah. Like, it's heavy. So like,
that is pretty cool, man.
But overall, do you feel as though maybe like the movie was good for just that specific time, because it was entering a time with reality TV and
like 100%.
like, you know, the rappers and all that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like it was like appropriate for it. Now, is it like one of the best Halloween movies? Oh no.
But right. I do agree with you. Like some of these movies, like there is good for its time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I agree with you in that aspect, because I could think of probably a couple more movies where it had like pop figures inside these different types of movies. It's not just like horror, but like all these rom-coms, comedies, and all that stuff. That was like the prime time to bring them in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So
100%,
like,
I agree with you.
So I mean, Brad, I know you love Halloween as much as I do. So, question: with this new timeline, do you still watch the other ones like during like Halloween season and all of that?
I watch them year round. I mean,
Really?
I probably watch H2 the most, or like not Rob Zombie's H2, like 1981
Okay.
H2.
Well,
Um, and I shouldn't say year round. I mean, I don't know.
you watch
I
it
do.
when you're in the mood for it.
Yeah, like I
Yeah, yeah.
do. I do watch all of them at Halloween time. Like I'll go
Mhm.
through all of them. We're coming up on that time where I'll go through them all
About
again.
that time.
But
His
yeah,
wife is like, "Here we
I
go,
watch them
Brad."
all.
I know,
No,
right?
one of my
Real
one of
good
my
point.
proudest achievements is getting her. She actually liked the 2008 movie a lot. She really liked.
Mhm.
She thinks the original is kind of slow, but I mean, I said that's fair. I mean,
So I
it's a
just made
slow burn.
Yes, I just made a new friend at work. Like he's a really cool guy, and so he doesn't do scary. And but like I just put him on. I just got him interested in Halloween. And honestly, I would tell you this: I don't watch anything I love Hocus Pocus too. Just for like just that I'm a part of that cult following of
Yep.
Hocus Pocus. So that Halloween, I don't watch Jeepers Creep any of all those movies. I only watch them in October. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
but
fair.
That's
I will.
fair.
Yeah, I will say this though they did it so well that literally now I don't watch any of the other ones. I only watch Halloween 1978 and I watch 2018 and now I have
Really?
Kills. Like this year, we're having a watch day party. That's how we're gonna kick my birthday weekend off. We're literally gonna watch because like three of my friends that's coming, they've never seen like 2018 or 1978. So we're gonna watch 1978 and 2018, and then we're gonna go see Kills. So
That's
therefore, I said
awesome, man.
honestly, this is like to me the best timeline to introduce someone to it who has not
Yeah,
watched it or not crazy about it. This is like the
absolutely.
best timeline because like you're just like, oh wait, I get why this and X, Y, and Z, but like all the cult following, all that,
Yeah,
it's a lot, you know.
for
So
sure.
Also,
were
I feel
you
like
guys
if you were
able?
to did all that, like the whole franchise, you would get Halloween burnout by the time Halloween Kills
I
comes.
would.
So
I think I would. I really think I would. That's why. Yeah, like to me, I feel like just the quality of it. I love the fact that it takes place 40 years later, and like you said earlier, it's like it's about trauma. You know, like
Yeah.
mine wasn't to the extent of Lori's, but I had a similar experience. You know, when I was like, I think I was 16. High School Musical 3 came out in 2008, so it was in 2008. Someone broke in the house on me. You know, like that's why
Really?
like it's fading out, but like yeah, I have like a scar like here. They threw me on a glass table and everything. You know, so
oh
like
wow.
when I
Wow, man.
yeah like to me I've always liked Halloween, but with this new timeline and the fact it's about trauma and stuff, like
Uh-huh.
I could relate. You know, it
Hmm.
was something that I could relate to, and I was just like, wow, like
Absolutely.
yeah, like I was just like, wow. Now, you know, watching a scary movie, I realize why some of the things I do it. You know, like I'm not paranoid like she is. You know, like an outcast or anything. But however, you know, and I don't have any fear that he's gonna return one. Like you know, like
Yeah.
you know, my aggressor, he's gonna return or nothing. But like, because literally when we went to court, they asked him why did he do it, and he said he saw that I was alone in the house. That's the only reason that he broke into the house, you know.
Yeah.
So like ever since then, you know, like I just took it, I made it stronger. But see, my mom put me in therapy. Whereas, you know, like Jamie Lee Curtis said, you know, the character of Lori in 1978, therapy and stuff, this kind of stuff wasn't
Yeah.
big, you know, it wasn't offered the way it
Right.
is now. So
Hmm.
the fact that like she said Lori, like the Strodes, like her parents, they probably just like, I understand that your friends got killed, but you didn't die. Take a day off and go back to school. You know,
You gotta
those
move
kind of
on.
things. Yeah, but like to me, that's a traumatic event. You know, you just don't
Right.
move on from stuff like that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, look at her now, 40 years later, she doesn't have any of her original friends. She's
Yeah.
literally about to battle it out with kids that she was babysitting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yep.
it's just, yeah, it's crazy. It's simply crazy, but it's such a good timeline to just introduce anyone who, because I even look at it as somewhat of a psychological thriller too,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it plays on the mind. Yeah, it plays on the mind. So
I
yeah,
think that's what makes Halloween so appealing to people. Is that it's not a normal horror movie. You know what I mean? It's not about gore. It's not about. I mean, look at the original one. There's barely any blood in the original one, like at all.
true.
Like there's,
Yeah.
I mean, you see, like when he slits Annie's throat, there's a little bit of blood. Obviously, like Bob when he sticks him up on the wall. But I mean, like, there's not
Yeah.
really, it's not gory by any stretch
It's
of the
not,
imagination.
right.
It's more of a psychological, like, what you don't see. Where is
Yeah.
he? Like, at the end of the movie, I love all the sequels. I love the new sequel trilogy, or what we've seen of it so far. But I mean, even if you watch Halloween as a standalone movie, the original like intent of the ending of he's everywhere. He can be anywhere. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think
and
that's why
honestly, yeah.
like showing all the different houses as the Halloween music is playing and the credits is rolling. It's just
Mhm.
like he could be in anybody's house. He could be in your backyard, and
Yeah.
that's what makes it so good.
Yeah. And like even like down to the scene in 2018 where, it took me a second time to watch that because I went and saw it in IMAX the week of Halloween. And
Mhm.
I saw it, the day it came out. But like when I went to go see it in IMAX, I was just like, wait a minute. When the journalist, when he's at the car, he's speaking like to the lady and all that, when he's about to pump gas, Michael is behind him. They have it faded out, but he's in the car.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain things like
Investigative
that.
journalists.
Exactly. Like no, like get
Those
your
journalists, I
ass
swear
my
to
game.
God, they were probably the most idiotic people I've seen in my life. They were literally poking the bear. I would
Yes.
not think
The mask. Hold
Yeah,
it.
when he pulled it out like that, I was like, "Bro, you literally just signed your death certificate right there.
Yes, dog.
Sign and
But
date."
honestly, though, I will say this though: you can tell that they needed something to pull Michael back into this fold because those characters literally served to no purpose.
Yep.
Like
They were
and
literally there just to trigger Michael.
I cannot tell you their names at all. Like, and I've seen this. I cannot tell you anything.
Hey, props to that journalist because he did throw hands with Michael for a little bit.
He did.
And
his well, I learned in the deleted scenes that was his girlfriend. I didn't even realize that until I saw deleted scenes that they were together.
Yeah, because I think there's a deleted. I think that's in the DVD. There's a deleted scene where she's in the shower in that hotel when they're listening to like the Loomis tapes and stuff. And,
yes, and like
he puts it on and goes to scare her in the shower.
Bro.
I was like, that's nasty. Like that is nasty. Gross. Like, that has been sitting on a shelf for 40 years and he killed like 7 people in that. Like, no.
With it, yes, man, that's disgusting. But like, yeah, but like the fact that she sat there and just let him kill, she didn't even put up a fight. And honestly, if you're not gonna put up a fight, let your boyfriend take the fall. You run. Just go. Just go warn Lori, bro. Go do something. Honestly, you have to do that. Go back to just go. You can go live your life, man. Like Michael is not even checking for you, dog. Like he's not. But I know the girl Vanessa who plays a sexy nurse. Like I know she's spoken a little bit to me in the interview that I even watched. She was saying like it's an interesting way of because keep in mind her and the doctor they had no lines in 2018. Like the only thing the doctor said was that he had to go back to get his kaleidoscope or whatever he said or whatever. And like Michael actually stops their car, as you can see in like little quick glimpses and stuff. Like they are, and apparently they're gonna have like a full out bang. Like they're gonna be banging it out. Yes.
Have you talked to her like extensively about kills?
No, like we've already said we're gonna save that like for when we like chat and everything like that. I'm definitely gonna let you guys run that part. I'm gonna ask questions here and there because like I'm just gonna do the reacting. Like the rest of it they can have it. Yeah, but like she was just saying like it's an interesting take, and I know in the interview that I watched of her too, she was telling this guy that literally David Gordon Green told her right before they filmed the scene when Michael was doing the rampage scene and everything. He literally told her, he was just like, so you're gonna come back, right? And she was just like, coming back to where? And he was just like, for the next one, because you didn't get killed. And you and Michael, I would have been like, she said, honestly, she said from what I heard in that interview, she said that, people looked at my reaction as like, oh, he looked strange. She said, honestly, I was just shooken up at the news I just heard because he told her right before she filmed the scene.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So like she didn't have any idea. She said I was gonna film the scene and just go, But David Gordon already confirmed that she will be back for the next one because her and Michael they looked at each other, So I was just like, well, if that's the case, man, keep your head turned. When you see that, keep your head turned.
Well, and
mind your business.
It is kind of interesting that like, and it's funny because it shows like he just blends in, you know? Like the kids bump into him and the kid's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, mister," or whatever, and like people are walking right past him. Like I think when he first gets back to Haddonfield, he's been locked up since the original night because again, none of the sequels
Hmm.
exist. He's never
Right.
done he's only ever killed that Judith and then the original night in 78. When he gets there, I feel like he's almost like overwhelmed. Like where do
It's so it's so much to kill right now. It's
like
so
what do I
much.
even do? Like there's kids walking by him, there's people walking by him, bumping into him, and that's why he just like turns and goes. And
Right.
nobody else realizes that he looks strange and like weird
Right.
except for her. Vanessa, is that her name?
Yeah. Hmm.
Like she does kind of look at him and like he even kind of turns his head and they kind of look at each other for a minute and she's like
Hmm.
questionable, you know, and then of course
Right.
they get in the car and
Yeah.
they leave and that's it. So I was it was a cool little like Easter egg type thing when I found out that they were coming
Yeah.
back. I was like, that's pretty cool, you know.
So, question: do you think that? I mean, obviously, like I know in one of your videos, you guys were just like, they're definitely gonna keep remaking this. Do you honestly think that after it ends, do you think it's just time to hang up? Like, because to me, I have my friends, and like, I love the fact I can talk to you guys about this because my friends they talk about movies, but they're not as into
Yeah.
it. They let me lead it, you
Right.
know,
Right.
opposed to them putting in their input. But I feel like it's time to honestly like, and that's I think like Hollywood has become so I don't want to say lazy, but I guess that is the adjective to use because like they just keep recycling Michael. You know, now
Yeah.
apparently they said that an attorney has confirmed that they can start making more Friday the 13th films. And, you know, you got, I'm surprised they haven't, I know they've been trying to get like this whole Freddy Krueger thing back because Robert Englund said he's down to do one more final movie. Then you got the Chucky series, the I Know What You Did Last Summer series. Like they keep recycling things and
Hmm.
you know, like to me, I would love to see new serial killers. I mean, look at Michael. Look, it's such a basic thing to create. You know, just
Right.
this person who was just mad, and he's like now iconic. You know, do you think that it's time to just like end it? Just not just this trilogy, but like just to end like this franchise in general? Because to me, it's really honestly nowhere else you can go with this. It's honestly no. It's going to continuously be like somewhat of the same story per se.
I like what Brad said a couple episodes
Hmm.
ago because I do agree like Michael Myers is being recycled a lot, and I think
Yeah.
these two sequels will literally jumpstart Michael Myers again. Like people will want to see more of him. But I
Hmm.
think in the beginning of the first Halloween, I think Brad said that after that one, it was just supposed to be like an anthology series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like
Hmm.
now they have the opportunity to like at least try to do that, like kill Michael Myers and Laurie, like take them out, and then like possibly start doing like an anthology kind of series with Halloween. I think that would
See,
be a nice way to like keep that tradition going, but not
mhm.
recycle Michael Myers constantly.
Now it's this anthology film because like those I love anthology films because like to me I feel like if you don't have enough to write a full story, you have like 7 minutes to write this one thing and move on. Like I watched this movie called Tales of Halloween, great anthology movie. You know, it's
Mm,
like
Hmm.
seven different stories in one movie and they're all really
Yeah.
good, you know.
yeah.
But honestly, I feel like they are too I know Jason Blum, he already disclosed that he's not interested in doing seasons of Halloween 3 seasons of the witch
Yeah.
because like but like to me, I feel like they are too scared to take that risk. Like I feel like I'm with you. The anthology, I feel like that's a good idea, but I feel like they're too scared to do that because that name alone, Michael Myers, you know what I'm saying? It's almost just like I hear
Hmm.
dollar signs when I
Yeah.
hear that name. You know, at the end of the day, long as Michael is in here or whatever, like we know people are gonna come to the box office and see this, you know. But
Yeah.
like without him being there, it's kind of just like I don't know what that is. I'll wait for it to come on Netflix. I'll wait for it to come to Hulu. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then
Hmm.
later on in life, it has like this cult following, just like seasons of The Witch or whatever. So that's
For
the only
sure.
thing about it. But like, I would hate to be because I'm super invested in like this. Like, they should put me on the payroll. How I've been promoting Halloween, like this timeline, I should be on the payroll.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I would hate to like be putting so much into like this just to turn around and just, you know, they reboot it again or just keep at, because like the thing, and that's even with Halloween Ends and like now, because like the whole Evil Dies Tonight, and what was the, oh yeah, the when they first brought this trilogy on, when they were just like Laurie comes to her final confrontation. So now that you guys added like this time jump, I mean, it's not necessarily a final confrontation because
yeah,
we've already confronted and now we're about to confront again. You know,
Yeah,
it's like not the
they literally took like 2 steps back with their whole like
yes.
plan. Like we were all jet for it. Like, yes, this is gonna be it. And they're like, well, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah,
That's
to me,
that's the idea I got whenever I found out about the news of it being a time jump. I was like, now you're just cash grabbing.
yeah.
Exactly.
I
I
think,
don't know, man.
I think Halloween Ends will be the end of the original timeline. I don't, because we're never going to get that again. We're never going to get Jamie Lee Curtis. We're never going to get the original cast, the original characters. This is going to be the end of that. I think, like you said, people, when you hear the name Halloween, you see dollar signs. Like it is what it is. Right. And I think, you know, they're doing it with The Exorcist now. They just announced an Exorcist trilogy. Blumhouse is doing an Exorcist trilogy that are sequels to the original, which I have no idea how the hell that's going to work, but so be it.
Right.
But I think it's inevitable that somebody will come along and remake Halloween. Honestly, and this is like the first time I've ever actually said this out loud to other people, I've always wanted to like try writing a script, and I would love to do like a remake. Like obviously that mine will never get made. Like this would just be for fun. But I think there is a way to remake Halloween without focusing on Laurie. I think if they're gonna remake it, they need to drop the Laurie Strode thing, and I think you need to focus on Loomis and Michael. Make it like the Van Helsing deal of Loomis trying to kill Michael. And I think there's something that you can do with that. I don't want to see another Rob Zombie thing where they're just going to remake the same story with the same characters and mostly the same way. And I know, like, you know, he did do the backstory, and H2 was whatever that was. But I mean, I think I don't know. In a way, I agree with you, but in a way, I'm like, well, there's still more. I don't know. I think, and they need to let it breathe for a while. I will say, I don't want Ends to come out in 2022, and then in 2025 we're gonna see a remake. Like, it needs to breathe for at least a decade, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess like when you think about it, not just Michael, but like Jason and Freddy and Chucky and all these people. It's just like, think about it. These people were introduced like how old are you guys?
24.
I'm 24. I'll be 25 in February.
And I'm 28, you know. So like think of like these characters were introduced like when our parents were like teenagers or even, you know, younger, you know, like like a guy I work with now, he was born in like 72 or 73. I said, I didn't mean to shade him the way I did, but I was just like, yo, you were born literally right before the first Halloween movie was ever made. And he was just like, yeah, like when I saw it, like, you know, I was a kid. I was just like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Whatever. My bad. But yeah, like, you know, Chucky, you know, Freddy Krueger, like these people are like 30 and 40 years, like just keep making these, like now with Scream 5 coming out, you know, like it's just like we keep getting like the recycledness, you know, and like to me it's almost just like the reason these movies become, in my opinion, they become like cheesy sometimes. Like honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous for Scream 5, if I'm gonna be quite honest. Like I'm kind of nervous, but like I feel like they become somewhat cheesy sometimes because it's just like, wow, like we've, you know, because like most people like our age, we've seen these movies, like we've seen these sequels and all this stuff, but like where else can you go with these characters? You know, like where else can you go? And the fact that, and I will say this whole Chucky thing, the TV series, are you gonna watch it? Because it looks
on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, it looks somewhat. Chucky looks like he belongs on the small screen. Like
I would agree with that. And honestly,
he's just a menace to society. That's the best way I could put it.
He is, man. He's like that bad. He's just like that bad kid. Like, yeah. Like I wouldn't die by Chucky personally, because I mean,
100%. I'm a soccer player. I'm punting that guy at least 100 meters down the fucking
only
field.
thing I can come up with him is the fact that maybe he has developed like a grown man's strength inside of a doll. But I mean, bro, come on.
Let's be honest. It's a plastic doll.
It's plastic. Set him on fire and get done talking on the phone. Like,
exactly.
I would fight him as I'm talking on the phone.
Paula Laurie.
Call the police for that. Yes, like I don't know, but like one thing I did like that Jamie Lee Curtis said about Lori. I think that the thing with this that makes it so like this story between him and Lori is literally like it's about good versus evil. You know, like it's something about that, and like to me, I feel like if they try to go back and, you know, redo this series or like just redo like this Michael story about him and another girl, people are still going to relate that to Laura. Her name could be Becca. Her name could be Ashley. They're still going to say she's just basically Laurie Strode, you know? So like they would have to be super strategic in bringing it back. Now, I will say if they do bring it back, it's probably gonna take me a while to go see it. I don't know if I'd be in tears because like the way they went about doing this timeline, they did that. Like it's to me, it's perfect. It's clean. Everything about it, I'm just like I believe it. I believe this story. You know, like I believe it. Where
the best
you know,
way
and that's
I
something
could describe it is poetic, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Because like everything here is just like. I see the reasoning for this. I understand this or whatever. The only thing I cannot technically understand is how Michael knows how to drive a push to start. That's the only thing that's the only thing that is sending me. And I don't know, man. And like, you mean to tell me no one is at the gas station now that you're putting your mask on outside? Like,
you're starting to sound like Loomis. He was doing very well last night.
Yes, like, bro, like, where did you learn this stuff? Like, and so you mean to tell me you was driving when Michael had to stop at a red light? He's just not out here breaking the law. He had to stop at the red light, and you're sitting by him at the red light, and you're not, you know, like, you know, I'm thinking too far into it, but like, you know,
it makes sense. It makes sense because I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a TikTok channel where it's a guy driving his car and he has a Michael Myers mask. You see how desensitized most of these people are. So it makes sense. I kind of agree. Like Michael probably could have just drove throughout this entire town. Nobody would have cared. Because you see how people are acting with the mask already.
Right. I was about to say, well, technically, when you think about it, it is Halloween, though. And some people, they are into Halloween like that. Like me, I'm into Halloween based off of like decorating and, you know, bringing those fall aesthetics. I don't too much dress up. I know my friends and I, we're going as the Breakfast Crew this year. So we're gonna urban up the Breakfast Club look.
That's cool.
But like, and like for my channel, I'm doing Halloween week, where like the whole week of Halloween, every day is something different. Like
that's awesome,
man. But like I don't know, man. Like if they remake this again, man. I don't know if Blumhouse would do it though. I don't think so.
No, I think if they remake it, they'll sell the rights to somebody else. And you know, if they do remake it, I just hope that it's. I hope that it's something with a legit story and they're not just remaking it to remake it. I think that's my fear with doing A Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and, you know, all of these other horror franchises. Now, it's just like, what more are you going to do? Like you were talking about Chucky belonging on the small screen. To be completely honest with you, I really like the idea of Warner Brothers or... like on HBO Max or Amazon or something like that, having a Freddy series, like a Freddy Krueger series. Like,
now, let me tell you something. Robert Englund, he had an interview maybe like a month ago now, and I liked his idea because, you know, he is older, you know, and the thing that separates him from Michael and Jason, he is his character. You know, like what people want to admit is that the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, it was actually good. We just couldn't get past the fact it's not the Freddy that we know. To be honest, you know, but like, but like I will say though, like with Robert Englund, he said that he would come back and play Freddy, and his idea, I was just like, I'm with it. He was just like, he would take the Stephen King's route. He said that he would torment these kids of, you know, Elm Street and stuff, but the only thing about it is that it would go like the Pennywise route of like playing on each one of their fears, and they would have to go like through different levels, and basically Freddy Krueger would be that final level that they would have to overcome.
That's interesting.
And to me, I was just like, like that's honestly, I think I would just settle for a Freddy versus Jason 2. I don't think I even need a Nightmare.
A Freddy versus Jason 2?
Boy, I would be listen.
We're talking about MTV Freddy with Freddy versus Jason 2, 100%, because his personality shifted in Freddy versus Jason. I love.
Well, it had been shifting since like 4. Because the first 2 or 3, he's pretty serious. After Dream Warriors, it's just kind of like you almost root for Freddy in a weird, like, screwed up way, because he's so funny. Like the stuff he says, like, it's awful, but it's so it's comedic in a way, you know. But yeah, man, I would like if we got a Nightmare on Elm Street series, I would like to see season 1 prequel-esque, like. It's more. It's nothing to do with dreams and supernatural and Freddy as we know him. It's more of like a mystery whodunit serial killer type drama. And then of course maybe at the end of that is when he gets burned, and maybe the end of season 1 is when you see burned, dead Ghost Freddy.
So somewhat like a prequel.
Yeah. And then you can do whatever. Then you can do. You could drag the same story out for multiple seasons. You could do a Freddy's Nightmares type thing where it's like every single episode is something different. Like you could do anything. Like you could do anything. That's why I think Freddy. I don't know. I could see a Freddy TV series more than I could see a Freddy
movie.
Another big screen movie, because it's almost like, what are you gonna do? Like the story's already kind of been done, you know. Like they tried the remake, it was decent, but it wasn't like. Honestly, the remake gets a lot of hate, and like that'd be a good one to go back and rewatch, because I haven't watched that in a long time. I saw it in the theater. I own it, and it's fine. I think Jackie Earle Haley did a good job playing him. It was just some of the creative choices they made. I was kind of like,
yeah.
So be it.
So are you guys going to see the Scream 5?
Yeah, I'll go see it. I need to rewatch all the Screams too. I was never a huge Scream guy, and I was never a huge Chucky guy. But I will go see it. I'll go see it.
I think thing is I was about to say, I think that's why I wasn't like big on. I like A Nightmare on Elm Street and all these movies, but I'm big on that final girl. And to me, the two badass final girls will always to me be Laurie Strode and Sidney Prescott. Like,
that's true, because
to me, the way they go against these tormentors, like they don't do stupid stuff. They don't when they're on screen. It's just not. It's not like a why did you do that? Like why? Yeah. You know, like everything about them is just very just fight or flight. They
have a legit story arc.
They do, you know.
I was gonna say, like, you remember in the first Halloween, like you saw, like at the end when Michael Myers is like he fell off the balcony, and Laurie Strode was like, "Was that the boogeyman?" I was like, "Girl, who the fuck do you think that was? That was not the boogeyman. That was a straight up serial killer in a mask coming to get you." Like, I would have loved to see Loomis be like, "No, that was a psychotic freak. Like, that was no boogeyman."
Exactly, but like I know that Scream is taking the same approach. And how do you guys feel about this? About the fact that it's just going to be called Scream, just like Halloween 2018 is called Halloween. Like, do you feel that comes about as confusing to me? I think, like, especially like when you're doing research and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would say it's probably like it's going to be the same thing as Halloween. I feel like they're just rebooting it again, or like just going from like a direct sequel as they should. And I agree with you in some aspect where it's like, what?
No, the girl who plays Gail Weathers on them, she said that this is literally basically Scream 5. It's going to follow the events of Scream 4. It's not even like they're not rebooting it. They're not they say it's literally just another sequel. They just didn't want to put that number on it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of, though, because
I don't know.
I haven't seen Scream 4. Was it not hitting as hard as like the original? Or has it like dwindled down?
It was the most crucial one that people reviewed the most out of all of them. But that was Wes Craven's like last film that he did or something like that.
Yeah.
But to me, it was good. But the thing about it is, the part that's killing me is the fact that this is not, they're not making this one and that's it. They said they have like at least 2 to 3 more movies after this one. And I'm just like, don't
I
do
just
that.
don't know.
Yeah, don't do that.
I think there's an extent, like we couldn't have gotten 6 of, like, if this wouldn't have been a trilogy and they would have wanted to do like 6 more Halloweens based on the original one, like you just can't. Like there's a point where the story has to end and you just have to let it end. You know, you can't keep, and that's not even just horror movies. That's anything. You know what I mean? This isn't the MCU. This isn't. It's just, and it's the same thing. Like, we're big MonsterVerse people too. Like, I'm a Kong fan. He's a Godzilla fan. Like, that's got to end at some point. You know, you just can't keep. There has to be a natural end to stories, or else it's like, why? Like, what's the point?
Right.
You know,
you're just making stuff just to get my money at this point.
Yep. You're just doing it to do it. So,
well, I mean, that was pretty much what the horror genre was doing. Like, and like since these like multiple like huge serial killers and monsters, and back in like in the 80s, like that was the time when they were just making whatever they can with these creatures. Like, I remember when Leprechaun came out, that was a pretty scary movie. And then next thing you know, you got Leprechaun in the Hood and the Hood too, and then you had Jason in space. Jason Goes to Hell.
I hate Jason X.
Yeah, you just got all of those movies and you're just making them just to make them.
I can't say the same. I cannot say the same. Well, actually, I had to rewatch. I watched Jason X as a kid, and I was actually quite impressed. But I had to watch it now. I think it's on Netflix.
I don't know. Jason X just doesn't do it for me. I will say, I have a Jason Takes Manhattan poster somewhere.
I think I see it.
It's up here.
Right?
It's up here.
Yeah,
that's the Jason Lives poster. My Manhattan one is up here. Manhattan is probably, and it's a terrible movie. Like, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. But Jason Takes Manhattan is like my favorite Friday the 13th movie for whatever reason. And I know like the plot is awful, but it's just, I don't know why. I love it. It's just one of my favorites.
One of those Friday the 13th movies was filmed here in Georgia. And my friends and I, we're going, I think it's on the 14th of this month or something like that. They're having a screening outside at the camp where they filmed that Friday the 13th. I saw
that.
Yeah. We gotta get you guys out here to Atlanta.
Is Camp Novi Bosco in? Is it in Georgia?
Say that again?
Camp Novi Bosco, I believe that's what it's called. Where they filmed it? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Only thing I know is that my friend sent it to me, and she was just like, "Get the tickets." And so I said, "All right, fine," because the tickets were like $5 a piece. So yeah,
not bad.
I said, "I'm coming, Laurie Strode ready," because the camp, I don't know, man. And I said, I'm not into the whole don't have someone dress up as him at the end of the movie running out, because in fight or flight, I fight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I get you.
I'm just not with all that. Just watch the movie and let's go home. Like, please.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
For sure, man.
But
well, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really has been.
I feel like we should do this once the movie comes out. I feel like we should do like a review about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely need to get together again.
We'll definitely do a review of Halloween Kills, and we'll talk about it, because I'm sure like that will be just as long as a podcast as what we just did.
Exactly. Yeah. I need you guys to come out to Atlanta. I got you.
For sure. I'd love to go to Atlanta.
That's awesome, man. Fun. If I would have known, I was just there. If I would have known you were in Atlanta, man, I'd have hit you up.
Yes, man. I would have loved it too, man. I would have loved it. And the fact that you was that close.
Yeah. I know.
But now you guys know, anytime, I'm always available. I don't care. Just hit me up. I'm always down to do this. Like, this was fun.
That's awesome. Man. And if you talk to Vanessa again, just let us know, man. And we'll we're down for that anytime you want. That would be a really cool time to just sit down and have that conversation. So real quick, before we get out of here, tell everyone where they can find you at and what you got going on.
Okay, so like right now, you guys can find me obviously on YouTube is the hashtag symbol HeyJay, HeyJay, and then you can follow me on Instagram at hey.JayTee. I reply to DMs. I'm pretty much down to do reactions to anything. Just make sure you guys just hit me up. I'm down for whatever.
Awesome, man. And with that, I think that's going to do it, guys, for episode 33 of Let's Talk Movies. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with us for a while. Thank you to JayTee so much for hanging out with us, man. This has been awesome.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Please go and follow him on social media. Check out his channel. New episodes of Let's Talk Movies and Let's Talk Movie News drop every Monday and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. We're available on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. Have a great rest of your week, guys, and we'll see you on Friday for this week's episode of Let's Talk Movies. See you guys. Take care.
Bye, guys.